Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I am Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist and small business advisor, and I help you to create these solid foundations, either on the personal side or on the business side, to help you thrive, to help you move from surviving to thriving, to help you soar. I also help you to have some aha moments, those self discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so you can release it in order to thrive, because that's where the shift starts to happen, right? That's where the magic happens, be it on your personal finances or on your overall business. Today, I want to talk about using AI in your business and why, if you are not, you're doing yourself, you and yourself, a you and your business rather, a disservice. So let's talk about business basics today because it's Thursday. And today I want to talk about AI. And it really came about because, listen, last night, me and AI had a thing going on, right? And I use AI all the time. And I use it, part of the way that I use it is for planning, to help me think, to bring in some concepts and some ideas, especially if it's in a lane that isn't my lane. Um, like when you talk about a physical brick and mortar space for a particular type of service, right? And that's where we were going last night. So, um, I'm personal financial strategist, small business advisor, but then I also have some other companies. And one of the other companies that I have is United Community Solutions, where we do free work, financial workshops, small business coaching workshops, things of that nature. But I have a program in there called Rescue the American Dream, and it's about building, strengthening, revitalizing communities, right? Through all of these different programs, everything with a financial, economic foundation in order to build and to grow, right? So there are some other things that I want to do this year and going into the future, which is really about legacy building, but being able to financially educate and financially heal, because that's really and truly what my what my underlying mission is. And so there's very specific things that I want to do with that. And so I had to create well, there's a few other companies that I have to create in order to do this. So the first thing that I started with last night was the name of the parent company. I have already done some stuff with AI on one of the companies that's underneath that parent company, and that company that's under, so let's call it company B. Company B, I had started working on and chatting with AI about previously. And then I realized, okay, well, with everything else I want to do, there has to be a parent company, a company A, if you will, that all of this other stuff falls up underneath, right? And I came up with the name for company A. AI helped me come up with the name for company B that we had done previously, right? So I come up with a name for company A, and I went to AI, and I'm specifically talking about Chat GPT. That's the platform that I use. You use whatever one is comfortable for you. And I plugged in the name of the company and I asked, what does this company name portray and give off, right? And from that prompt, it literally told me what the name meant and portrayed. And the interesting thing, the reason why I brought up United Community Solutions and that Rescue the American Dream program, that was not entered into this quote unquote discussion with AI at all. But in previous discussions in AI, I've talked about United Community Solutions and that Rescue the American Dream program. So when AI created or answered the question that I said, what does the name of this company, again, this parent company, company A, what does it portray? And AI gave me this really, you know, great synopsis, if you will, of what it portrayed. But it also said, in parent company would collaborate with organizations like United Community Solutions and their Rescue the American Dream program, dot, 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 dot. The reason that I bring that up is because the more you use it, it knows what you're doing, even if it's not in that same question that you're bringing or that same conversation, I like to call it, even if it's not in that same conversation, it remembers, it knows what you're, the other things that you do, and it can bring it back together. That's the first time that that happened to me, and that really, I don't know, kind of surprised me. It was a pleasant surprise. But then I took the answer to the question, what does this company name portray? And I asked AI to write a mission statement. And it was dead on. There was a little, a few tweaks, words that I wanted to use differently, but the overall gist of it, spot on, right? Well, then I went on to ask about, let's go back to company B, right? And so company B, and I says, well, under company B, give me, because it is a brick and mortar space. And I said, give me some other businesses or revenue streams that we could build out of this brick and mortar space that still is in line with what's going on in that brick and mortar space, right? So it gave me like a list of, I don't know, 5 or 6. I may have asked for 6 because I do things in the Trinity. So I always ask for things in 3 or multiples of 3. And so it gave me 6 ideas, 6 other businesses that I could use. Well, a few of them I already do and I'm already doing, right? But there were a couple that were totally new. So for one of them, I said, okay, well, let's expand and let's expand on this. Let's let's dive into this particular one, right? And it gave me ideas about it without me in that point really even asking for anything specific, because I kind of wanted it to lead the discussion, if you will. And one of the things that I asked or had a concern about was people who would come into the business walking out with, because it's not a retail business, right? Retail meaning you're going in and you're buying clothes or I don't know, dishes. That's not what the brick and mortar business is. But there is an aspect of it in that, although it's not the main thing, right? And so I was concerned about people walking out with those items, right? Or thinking that those items that are there in that space, something that they could just take with them. And so it literally answer came back with, 5 things to do in order, you know, creating procedures so that that doesn't happen. And then we literally just went through, I asked for, well, what would this space look like? And it wrote me out, you know, prompts and all of that that I literally could go back and take to an architect or designer and say, hey, this is what I want this space to look like. Like we literally just had this incredible and amazing conversation. Now, here's what, like, so much so, and for so long that at, at one point, the system said, hey, basically, and was like, listen, we need a break because I use chat GPT 4.0, which is $20 a month. For me, that $20 for what it does and how it helps, like, and once you go to chat GPT 4.0, like you'll never go back to 3.5. 3.5 is really, really good. 3.5, you can't create designs and things of that nature, right? So it literally said, listen, you can't get any more answers. And I'm paraphrasing at this point. It was like you can't get any more answers because your time until your time resets. And so uh, we had been at this thing for over an hour, almost 2 hours, because I had 2 free hours, which I don't often have. And I had 2 free hours. And instead of scrolling on social media or finding a movie to watch, I said, you know what, let's go and build. Let's have some conversations. And so I use Chat GPT or AI to help for ideas, for different thought processes, to help me think through a thought process, to give me information in lanes that I am not familiar with. Like I don't have this business A. I don't have a brick and mortar business, and I've had brick and mortar businesses in the past, but they still weren't this type of brick and mortar business. So it's giving me information, you know, it even did the physical design, like the image of what this brick and mortar space could look like. And then we just kind of talked things through. Like I had one question about, well, maybe we could do this. And then I says, no, and well, what do you think? And it gave me some things to think about, which then made me say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that part of that business. So I even today, when I decided I wanted to talk about Chat GTP specifically today, I went on it and asked for it. It created this image. Now, this was the first image. My prompt was, please create an image that portrays AI and the impact it can have on a business using the black, white, and gold color palette. My color palette for everything I do, except for United Community Solutions, is black, white, and gold. And so this is what it created. I didn't give it any, I read the prompt. It was just that simple. Now, if I was trying to create a logo or do something else, I might keep going back and um, adding some things and telling it to change some things and being more descriptive. But I always start with creating logos or images with a very basic prompt and then see what it creates and go from there. Because sometimes I will have a thought in my mind on what I think I want it to look like. And I'll put that basic prompt in and it'll come up and generate something. And I'm like, oh, wow, this really is it. So if you're not using ChatGPT, you're totally missing out. So my favorite things, ChatGPT. Again, the link is in the description. Go ahead, start with 3.5. Start to talk about it. Like if I showed you my chat, I don't know how to do that. If I showed you my chat GT jet my history, you would see like I don't know, probably 200 different discussions. And I will leave them up there in case I want to go back to that specific one, right? So that's my favorite thing for today. Like I absolutely love it. And then what's that? What's the next steps? We know it's a journey, right? Talk about it on the personal side, talk about it on the business side. Life is a journey. Being an entrepreneur and having a business, that whole process is it's a whole different kind of journey. We always say entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It's not, but when you're doing that thing that you absolutely love, when you're doing that thing that you can see the impact when you are walking in your purpose, it's a fantastic thing. So I absolutely love it. I love what I do. Um, so yeah. So the journey, and it's the more I do, and this is specific to on the business side. I mean, it's the same on the personal side, but this is specific to the business side. The more I walk the journey, right? Like even with this new product project, I know the destination. I know what it's supposed to look like. I know what it's supposed to do, right? But this journey, woo, this journey on getting it there, and I'm nowhere near where I can start to build, or even do the brick and mortar. But one of the questions was, well, how do I start to subtly introduce what the brick and mortar will be until I actually have that brick and mortar? And it gave me ideas on that too. So it is this incredible journey. But in this process, I'm learning more things about this that I would not necessarily have learned or even have known to look at had it not been for my discussions with Chat GPT. And so I'm gonna have to name my Chat GPT, my AI guy. And for me, it's gonna be a guy, just like my Siri is a guy from South Africa. Anyway, I'm gonna have to give him a name so that the more that I talk about it, um, you all will get to know his name. I don't know. Anyway, it's all about the journey. So it's the small steps, right? It's the small steps that turn into really big steps. You heal, you look back, you've done everything that you needed in this business, you've climbed a mountain, and now you have this, $1 million business that's producing because you did the thing and you learned so much in that journey. So sign up for Chat GPT. Again, the link is in the description. Start to use it. Just practice with it. The more you use it, the better you get at the prompts, the better you get at when do you want to go more detail with the prompt? When do you just want to do a prompt that's very generic, like I did when I created the image for today? So just start using it and add it to your operational process. Like I said, it's just like you have staff meetings, I have these meetings with AI, right? And I have these meetings with AI, and it's part of the operational process, right? Because I can then go back and say, and I've done this for United Community Solutions, different job descriptions that I need. Hey, write me a job description for this. And then I build off of what it does. Again, giving it a very generic prompt and then saying, these are some of the things that they will have to do, but write me a full job description for this. And then going back in and editing it and tailoring it specifically to what I need and what I want. Again, use it, add it to your operational process. I guarantee you, you're going to be glad that you did. Always, always remember to give yourself some grace. You don't know what you don't know. You don't sometimes even know the questions to ask. But keep moving and keep striving. Never give up on you. Never give up on your business. Invest in you and invest in your business. I promise you, those are the best two investments that you will ever make. Until next time, actually Monday, I will see you guys on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.